it's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Leadership newspaper. The major story here says, at Lagos luncheon, Rivers rally, Tinubu Obi speak to issues, underscore governance plans. At Lagos luncheon, Rivers rally, Tinubu Obi speak to issues, underscore governance plans. I'll convert Nigeria's challenges to opportunities, says APC presidential candidate. I run government of youth, women will be speaking. Don't waste time on Tinubu, Atiku tells PMB. Find all the details on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. We move now to the front page of News Direct. All right, 2023 APC PDP trade wars over incessant attacks on INEC facilities. APC PDP trade wars over incessant attacks on INEC facilities. You find all the details on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the Daily Times, National Assembly fails to pass 2023 budget as Senate blames executive for errors in appropriation bill. National Assembly fails to pass 2023 budget as Senate blames executive for errors in appropriation bill. All the details on the front page of the Daily Times. And on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper, National Assembly halts 2023 budget passage over multiple errors. Blames executive for submitting faulty document. All right, to reconsider clean copy for passage December the 28th. All the details on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. Mike?
Yeah, I have the first news now, and it says a Naira redesign. We don't know quantity of new notes printed. As the CBN is saying this, we don't know quantity of new notes printed. CBN is saying this. Now, Daily Trust is the next one we're moving to now, and it said, cash withdrawal limits, reps to insist on policy reversal. All right, reps to insist on policy reversal. That's on cash withdrawal limits. That's what you see on Daily Trust. Moving to Nature News, Ogoni cleanup is the focus here. Federal government indicts community civil society groups. Right? This is talking about the slow nature of the work there, the cleanup that everyone has been talking about since. That's the Nature News. Business Day is the last one we're looking at now. Cost of Christmas meal in Nigeria rises by 28%. Cost of Christmas meal in Nigeria rises by 28%. Prices of rice, chicken, cooking gas, others soar. That's what you see on the front page of Business Day. Veronica.
All right, let's quickly look at the story on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, talking about the two major political parties, that's the APC and the PDP, trading words over the number of attacks that INEC facilities has faced in recent times. Recall that INEC has said that they have had about 50 attacks on its facilities in recent times, and that has become worrying. And then the PDP, through its spokesperson, came out to speak with journalists yesterday, and it said that that the APC is behind the attack because of the statement made by the APC presidential candidate at a closed-door meeting in London, when he went to London, where he said that power is not served a la carte, basically, and that you have to fight for it, work for it, as it is being done in Nigeria.
You have to snatch it and run with it.
So that all of that is saying that, this is the way to addressing this, and that is what we are seeing, basically. But then the APC has responded, saying that will be crass irresponsibility to think that they are the ones behind this attack. A lot of persons are even saying, why are you always politicizing matters of national security like this?
Yeah. In fact, Festus Keyamo, the spokesperson of the APC presidential campaign council, came out to say that he challenges the PDP to bring out details of all of their findings, because they said that they had credible information regarding that. They should produce the people that were behind it, who met, where they met, and how many of them, their names and all of that. He challenged them to come out with those, make it public for Nigerians to see. Well, however, at times like this, you are certainly going to hear all sorts of things. Right. One would say it's part of the politics, but negative politics that people are going to see. Now, the statement that was made by the APC presidential candidate, that in fact the videos went viral. Yeah. But I think those who caught the video, that part of it, and sent it viral, they may or could have had their own agenda, because I watched the entire video, and the issue there is, of course, I'm not the mouthpiece for them, but I'm just trying to put things in perspective. Yeah. Now, it is said that politics is about conflict resolution, of who gets what, where, when, and how. So the issue there is that he was talking about the issue of, this power, if everybody sits down and for it to be handed over to you, it will not be handed over to you like that. You have to work for it. You have to snatch it. You have to run with it. So he was talking about power generally. And it's the same rhetoric that has been put before women. When women say, okay, give us 35% affirmative, give us it. You won't be served like that. You have to work for it. And as it is, the numbers that women have, the capacity that women have, the influence that women have, they can actually achieve it without necessarily even waiting for anybody to hand it over to them. So it's the same thing that has been said to the youth. Youth, you have the capacity, you have the energy, you have the numbers. So waiting for the elders to hand over the power to you, you have to work for it, you have to snatch it, you have to do whatever you can do within the ramifications of the law that is set down for elections. So that's what this is about. So you will find at times like this where people will cut videos, cut audios, cut graphics, cut pictures, cut all of those things. Disinformation,
exactly. And all of that.
In fact, I think this is even more of disinformation, because the point there is, when there's a motive, you want to put it in a certain way for a certain motive and for a certain objective, then it becomes a disinformation situation. And as it is, we hope that Nigerians are well aware and they know better when it comes to approaching these issues, so that they will not be caught in the mix or in the web of trying to struggle for which is right, which is not right. The reality is that if INEC office is burnt with PVCs being destroyed, there's no political party that would say all the PVCs there are people who would have voted for the other political party, as the case may be. So anybody who is doing that will be doing it at his own detriment too, because PVCs at the time, before elections, PVCs are just there. You don't know which PVC is going to be for which political party, depending on the owner wielding it at the poll. You don't know whether the person, this PVC you are destroying now, would have voted for APC, PDP, or whoever. LP, or whatever the thing is. So it will not be even logical to say that we attack INEC office.
To what end?
To what end? So at that point, if there is, of course, everybody stands against violence at this
Absolutely.
time. But INEC is the umpire for the entire election. The attack on INEC, where you burn INEC generator or you burn INEC office or you burn INEC, any facility at all, is detrimental to the entire system. If it's going to affect APC, it will affect PDP. If
all the political parties.
MNPP, it's going to affect everybody.
Yeah.
So saying that there's an orchestrated, attempt to attack INEC office as a way of derailing the election, when you begin to look at it logically, is it to what end?
That's
because
the question. To what end?
Will be affected.
What's the essence?
Exactly. What's the essence?
At the end of the day. Because there are critical issues for me that has to be addressed at this critical time. We should begin to look at issue-based conversations. Not, okay, this one said this. I believe that it, just denies us the joy of hearing people talk about the real issues and how you want to address it. And giving Nigerians the opportunity to scrutinize you. Address the issues. Don't just look at little things. For me, it's belittling. If I may use the word, look at the core issues and address them. Yes, somebody made a statement. Do you want him to respond to you? Fine. Have you reached out to him to respond to you, to clarify things? If you haven't, then follow the proper channels to addressing that. But let us look at the core issues, because that's even what INEC said at the beginning, before the beginning of campaigns. Let us have issue-based campaigns. Yeah. That is what it should be.
Yeah. This is the level of our political development for now, right? The reality is that we call ourselves a nascent democracy, you know, because we're looking at it from 1999 up until now, where, okay, the military is away now, and we are doing our own engagement, political engagement between one political party and the other, as the case may be. So this is the level of our discussions right now. If we had continued the 1966 era up until now, Nigeria would have been different from what it is now. Robust engagement, political engagement, where we would have mastered what political party engagement is, what political party campaignings are, and what the rudiments and all of that issues are. But because military, every time the military comes, it takes us backwards. I
think we should stop blaming the military.
No.
We should move past that.
We can't move past it.
We need to move past that. Why?
You know why? Because the point there is, it's like talking about colonialism, right? Someone will say, colonialism has come and gone. Why are we still talking? But the issue, the reality is, well, if it's still talking about returning of artifacts until now.
Right.
So the point, it has to do with the people's psychological, historical, everything is all molded up together. However, the issue there is that we should begin to look at ways of
when do we begin looking at that?
That's what's going on right now.
Over 19 or 20 years of democracy. Yes, we are still looking back. But we should have moved fast.
But that's, you see, the point there are some things that it was just, imagine Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate. He was the first person to test the legal test of the fact that if you say that a governorship candidate should be sworn in and his tenure runs 4 years. He was the first to test that in court when he took over from the Minister of Labour. It was the first time to test that thing. Chris Ngige. It was the first time to test that in court. It was in this democracy.
Right.
So the point there is there are lots of things that we need to practically test through the system to know how we will work. To know, you know that even the religious and ethnic engagement, these are all things in our polity.
Of course. I agree with you, but my issue is
all these incidents
we have had several elections in this country. So why are we still having the same conversation when we know it doesn't move us forward? It doesn't help us address the root issues. It doesn't help us in any way.
Yeah, the point there is, you know, that we have new generation of people coming on board.
Right.
There are some persons who have never voted, who have never been part of the system, who just became 18 years, who just became Gen Zs, who just became millennials, becoming part of the system right now. All of that mix with the old school, they have to all engage with each other. So it's the beauty of it. We're coming out, we are metamorphosing.
We're seeing the level of awareness.
Yeah. But all of these things need to happen so that going forward in the next dispensation and coming dispensations, we master the system. That's how it's supposed to be.